Guys, my name is Triselle and today I'll be talking about my first year experience in uni. So if you want to know more about that and how to better prepare for your first year, because honestly mine was not the best, stay tuned. Guys, before I get into things, I have a few disclaimers. If at any point in time you see my eyes going this way or that way, left or right, and my face is straight, I am not possessed nor am I distracted. It's just that I have crossed eyes and they have a tendency to go either ways without my control. Yeah. And secondly, the topic of discussion today, which is my first year experience in uni, it's quite prevalent on YouTube, and you find a lot of YouTubers sharing their experience on their experience. You find a lot of YouTubers sharing their experience of their first year in uni. So I also watched a lot of these videos in my first year. Like, I watched every single one that I could find. And with that said, I found something in common. I found that they all have a common moral, which is be prepared and do not underestimate uni. So I'm not going to sit here and act as if my experience was oh so unique, although I wish it was, but it really follows along those lines of videos that you would have probably watched already, where you make a few mistakes and you learn from them, and so forth. So I'm just going to be walking you through a couple of events that led me up to that common moral, which is, as I say again, be prepared and do not underestimate uni. So yeah, let's get into it. So I attend the University of the West Indies, Mona, and the branch which I attend is located in Kingston, Jamaica. So upon entering my first year, the first thing that I wanted to know was what to take. So that's going to be the first, thing we're going to discuss, what to take. So when I went, or no, let me backtrack a bit. When I was asking everybody what to take and watching all of these YouTube videos, they said that I shouldn't overpack and, just take a few things. If you need, anything else, you can always carry it later on, because the room is as small as a mattress box. Well, they were right. The room is as small as a mattress box, but I didn't follow the advice given, and I did take my entire house. I took so many things. I took so many clothes, so many shoes, everything you could think of. I took pots, I took curtains, I took everything down to my utensils. So yeah, and the reason I did that was because I always thought that I prefer to be over prepared than under prepared, right? And it's really a 2-hour drive from where I live to the city, which is Kingston. So I really didn't want to go back and forth because I had left some stuff, or because I realized I need this now and I don't have it. So if that's the case with you, in which the university is far from home, I'd advise you to overpack. Yes, I'm going to be straightforward with you. Overpack. Because it's better to be, over prepared than under prepared. Remember, you're moving away from parents, you're moving away from your loved ones. No one is going to be there to run down to the store to fetch you some toilet paper if you run out. So it's better to overpack and be prepared. And remember, you're first year. You don't want to be traveling all around the place for stuff that you forgot to carry and stuff like that. You just want to enjoy the experience while you can, right? So carry everything. And some of the items that I carried, I put it in a video. I made a video of it. Came in handy. Yeah, but for now, I took, as I said, pots, my utensils, curtains, because the room is so small and they don't provide anything but the mattress and the study area and the closet on the hall which I was staying on. Maybe the hall in which you're going to stay on will be slightly different. I'm not really sure, and they'll probably provide curtains, but my hall did not provide any curtains. We had to carry our curtains, our curtain rods, everything, laundry baskets, baskets. We had to carry, I carried clothespins so that, you know, if I wanted to save money and not do, you know, a wash and a dry, I could always hang my clothes out after I wash them. So that would save money. I carried laundry detergent, I carried plates, and if I'm shivering, it's because I'm slightly cold because I have my door open just for a bit of lighting. Yeah, so what else did I take? You can take your books and your laptop. When I was just going, I didn't take any books yet. I just had my laptop. But it's really good when you can take notes in class. It was really good for me taking notes in class. I learned better that way than to just be typing it on my laptop. Yeah. And what else pertaining to hall? Take anything and everything that will make you feel like you're at home, because the distance can make you feel nostalgic at times, because it sure made me feel that way. So that is a possibility. So you may want to carry pictures of your family and friends, and take a lot of clothes, because remember, it's fresh, you're a fresher, and you're going to have freshers week in which you go to all types of events. If your hall is anything like mine, they may incorporate like church services, and we went to cocktails and parties. So you should have clothes for all occasions to be prepared. And you know, yes, please take like slippers to go in the shower if you plan on, if you're a student who is going to university in Jamaica on hall. Take shower slippers to go into the shower, and take your like detergent for the bathrooms, like Lysol. What I bought a bottle of Lysol, the spray ones, so I could spray the toilet before like I sat on it, because you really have to treat it like it's a public bathroom, because the hall in which I live on, there's like 22 persons on the hall, 11 persons to one side and 11 persons to another side. So it's 2 bathrooms and 11 persons share each. So I really treat it like a public bathroom. So I wore my slippers, and you know, I sanitized the toilets before I sat on them and stuff like that. So that's really important for your hygiene and for your well-being. So take those things. And you may say, why am I going to overpack when I probably won't have any space to put most of the things? Well, what I did was that I stuffed everything in my suitcase and just put it under the bed. You can always do that. For the things that like I wore every day to school, like the clothes, I took out some clothes that I would wear every day to school and put them in the itty bitty drawer in my wardrobe. So that's what I did. And you know, you can either put your shoes under your bed, or you can buy the little shoes rack where I saw some persons with this. I think it's like a little shoes rack thing that you put your shoes in, and you can hang it up on your door or something like that. I don't remember the correct name. If you know the name, you can put it down below. Yeah, but you can also do that. And yeah, that's it. And take a lot of groceries. You're going to need to save as much money as possible in your first year. In addition, you can also take groceries. Well, I advise you to take groceries. Even if you don't know how to cook, you can always learn. University is a place for learning and growing. So take a few of the things that you can probably do well. Even if it is ramen noodles, they'll come in quite handy. So, and there are a lot of food places around campus. So if you do opt for not taking groceries, not to worry. On my campus, you have KFC, Burger King, Little Caesars has just come. You also have, can't remember the places. Yes, you have Juicy Patties, and you have this Chinese restaurant called Yao, and which other place? And you also have some concessionary stands that are, less costly. It's really, you have, a food place for everyone on campus. So if you do not want to take groceries on your first year, not to worry. If you can afford it, go for it. You cannot be hungry on campus because there are a ton of places to go on campus and around the area as well. So you have, you're spoiled for choices, really. So, but if you do intend on carrying groceries, I hate to say this, but if you're living on hall and you intend on carrying groceries, you may want to mark your groceries, like put your name on it or mark it in a way so that you know it's yours, because although I hate to say this, theft does occur on halls. Well, on my hall, I know I've lost a couple things. I don't know how they just walked away and I didn't touch them, but I've lost a couple things. So what you can do is mark your groceries or mark whatever belongs to you, just for safekeeping, and everything. I'm not saying that this will happen to you, but based on my experience, it has, and this is a way that you can better prepare. So yeah. So what I usually do with my groceries, I usually put down to my milk. I put my milk in a black bag, in a bag. I put my milk in a bag and tie the bag and put it in the fridge, so that, and they even warned us about it, when we're on hall, they had a little seminar teaching us how to better manage our food and stuff and avoid things like these. So what you can do is put your stuff, like as I said, my milk, I put it in a bag so that whoever may think it's their milk and takes it, they would have to untie the bag and whatever, and they have a greater chance of being caught in the act, and you can correct them and say, that's not your milk, that's my milk, and whatever. So that's just a way to really protect your things, and just have a better experience. Yeah. Number 2, know how to do laundry, guys, because let me tell you a story. The first time doing laundry in my first year didn't go so well. My clothes ran. They turned pink because what I had done, I put my pink sheets with my favorite pants, this gray pants that I had worn the day when I just entered on hall, and it was in the intro. I was wearing it in the intro, and I put it back right there. There it is. So it turned pink, and it was so embarrassing for me because I went to the laundromat so early, like 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 a.m., and I didn't return until around 6. So, and everyone was there to experience that embarrassing moment. Yes, and an average first year, not knowing how to do laundry because she does nothing at home and whatever. She never learned these things before coming. So it was like so embarrassing. I just knew that was what everyone was thinking in their head, who was probably not a first year, or even if they were a first year and knew how to do laundry, they'd probably be thinking that about me. So that was probably, one of the many, bad experiences that I had. So guys, my advice to you is know how to do your laundry for the sake of your clothes, and it would save you a lot of embarrassment. Although you can probably ask the lady or the man in the laundromat who assists with laundry to help you with your laundry. But unfortunately, I did not do that because I wanted to act like I was independent and I didn't want anyone to know that I wasn't the best at doing these things. Well, I actually thought I knew how to do it because my mom always told me that you put whites with the whites and the light colors with the light colors, the darker colors with the darker colors. So that's what I did. But the thing was, I just didn't know my sheets ran. So that's what messed me up. And my clothes, everything just turned pink, and I was so humiliated because I had to like wash it out and brush it out under the tap. And everybody was there to see that mess that I had made. And worst part, I had not made any friends yet, so it was just really awkward. It's nothing that we could have laughed over. It was just really awkward and embarrassing moment for me, and in front of a bunch of strangers, in front of a bunch of people who I thought were judging me. So based on that humiliating experience, guys, I warn you and I urge you to know how to do your laundry before guys, although I had said number 3, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit because I forgot to mention this point, which is accomplishment and emotions. Back after I had mentioned my first point, I should have mentioned this point, but I forgot. So my bad, and we're gonna discuss it right now, which is accomplishment and emotions. So first of all, you must know that attending university is an accomplishment. Be proud of yourself. Even if it isn't, even if people don't see it as a huge accomplishment where you live, it is an accomplishment because the statistics for persons, attending university is really very low. I don't think it's just for the Caribbean, but I think it's just a world thing. There are more persons not attending university than there are. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my view. And in the Caribbean, I'm specifically speaking, and Jamaica, there are more persons not attending than there are attending. So it is an accomplishment, and you should feel proud of yourself that you're going, even if it was not, your choice, even if it was just to make your parents, satisfied. Still be proud of yourself that you got accepted and you have the potential to go this far. So yeah, another thing, the emotions that I felt on the day. You're going to feel a lot of emotions, and some of the emotions that I felt were happiness, sadness, fear of the unknown, and I was a bit nervous too because I was gonna leave home and I was gonna be forced to be by myself and make friends and everything, and that's kind of makes me nervous to think of that. So yeah, but the most impactful emotion that stayed with me up until this day was the feeling of accomplishment, because my parents they never had the opportunity of a tertiary level education. They barely finished high school. So for me to be their child and to accomplish this that they never accomplished, it really meant a lot to me, and I knew it meant a lot to them, and it made me feel accomplished, that I was able to live my mother's dream, and although she never had the opportunity to live it, I felt as though her dreams were being lived through me. So in this picture, my face is literally buried in my mom's arms, and that's how I was feeling at the time. And I felt that I had succeeded my parents because this was really all that they ever wanted for themselves. They never had that opportunity. So, I succeeded them, and, they gave me everything that, would ensure that I do well in school. They provided everything for me to ensure that I did well in school and to ensure of my happiness. I grew up as what a lot of people would consider a spoiled child. And to know that none of that went to waste and I'm really not that spoiled, it was really, it really made me feel good within myself. And I knew that if my parents were proud of me for any other moment or any other accomplishment in my life, they were proud on this day. I could know, because like my mom was smiling from ear to ear on that day when I was leaving. Well, she could have just been happy that I was leaving and less work, less everything, less mouths to feed, but I don't think it was that. She was also really happy for me that I had accomplished this, because this is also what I really, really wanted, and I was working really hard towards to matriculate onto university and, make them proud. Because I live to make my parents proud. If they're not proud, I'm not proud, which is probably a bad thing, but that's just how it is for right now. I live to make them happy. So yeah, so they gave me everything to ensure that I was successful and in this goal, and I was successful at the end of the day, and it really made me feel happy, and it really brought a lot of emotions and everything like that. And I'm not sure, I suffer from this sickness called sickle cell, and I had missed so many days of school throughout my life. I've like more than the average person, because I would get sick a lot. So I don't know if my parents had doubts for me to reach this far. And my grades, like, I really say kudos to myself, because although I was really sick, and it's a sickness that really makes you be out of school a lot, it didn't stop me, and my grades were excellent for a person suffering from this illness. Yeah. And all of that, I remembered all of that and all of the struggles that I had to face, being out of school, being in pain, being sick all the time. And I had accomplished this that many without a sickness had not accomplished. It really, really made me feel good about myself, and it showed that as long as you work hard, you can accomplish anything that you will, and anything that you set your heart on, you can accomplish. Persistence is key. So I don't know if they had doubts, but even if they did, I proved that I could do it, and I felt really, really accomplished within myself. It really isn't just about getting good grades and moving on. The fact that I was suffering with another thing at the time that I was in school was really what made me feel so emotional and so accomplished more than anything else. So yeah, on that day you're leaving, you're going to feel some emotions. I'm not really sure which emotions you're going to feel on that day, but you will feel emotions, probably sadness, because you're going to leave your parents, you're going to leave your loved ones, and you may feel fear of the unknown, because you're coming out of high school and you're going into this new culture that is really nothing like high school. The culture in university is really nothing like high school. You don't have your teachers spoon feeding you. You don't have, everything is up to you. You have a responsibility. Your education is now in your hands. You really don't have that, firm support system that you had in high school. You had your parents there to remind you to do your homework. You had your teachers there who would probably call your parents if you were slipping up. You don't have that support system in college. So it's really up to you to know, how to handle it. Yeah. Your lecturers don't even know your name. You are just a number to them in uni. So the responsibility is really up to you, and that's why I think a lot of first years slip up, because they're still trying to figure out how to manage this, newfound independence, this independence that's just been thrusted up on them out of nowhere. Because imagine, you've been living with your parents under their rule for 19 years, and before you know it, you're shipped off to university to be by yourself and to now do these adult things, to now take on these adult responsibilities, which can be very difficult at first, and you're just learning, so you're bound to slip up and make a few mistakes. So that's why first year is so special. I consider it special, although you make your most mistakes in that year. And so yes, now we can move on to number 3. Yeah, did I mention that I also felt accomplished because uni is a big thing in the Caribbean? I don't remember if I said that, but let me reinforce it if I did. Uni is a huge thing in the Caribbean. Advancing your education is a very prestigious thing in the Caribbean. We place education on a pedestal, and seeing a youth, advancing their education, is really, it really is a thing to really, admire in the Caribbean. And the fact that I was able to, give my parents that, because growing up with my parents, I'd always hear them talk about other people's children who had matriculated onto university, and I'd just hear the admiration they had for that child. And now the tables had turned, and now, my mom could, tell her friends that I was doing the same thing, and she could have that sort of admiration and happiness and proud moment that other parents had experienced with their children. So that was really my ultimate goal and everything. So guys, first year is the time to be the person that you've always wanted to be. It gives you that opportunity, really and truly. So you probably, if you weren't outgoing in high school, you can be outgoing in first year uni, and no one would know that you were never like that. If you are the opposite, you can put on a completely different persona in uni, and no one would know the difference. No one would know that you weren't like that. So first year is a time for you to explore and find yourself and be who you've always wanted to be. Don't be afraid to participate in clubs and societies. That's how you're going to network and grow as a person and make long-lasting friendships. So before I get into networking, I'm just going to tell you about some clubs and societies that I joined. So, and some things that I participated in too. I joined debate club in my first year, and I did join art club, but I never attended any of the sessions, the club meetings, because I kind of got discouraged along the line, because I just thought that my art wasn't as good as all the fabulous art that I was seeing all around. So yeah, and debate club also didn't work out for me either, because it's just something that I'm not passionate about, although I like to talk on topics that I'm aware of and I know something about. It's just not something that I find that I'm passionate about. So it just, didn't work out for a debate club. So I joined those two things, and they had this kind of dance drama club on hall, but I'm good at neither of those things, so I didn't join that. So I'm just telling you that there are so many clubs and societies to join on hall and in the university that you really don't have a reason to be inactive. So, but if you do find yourself being inactive, don't feel bad about it because everybody's different. And right now, I'm inactive. I'm in my second year and I'm inactive, and I don't feel any way about it because really and truly, I just want to focus on school, and also because I just don't see anything that I like. I want to get it, I want to go into chess, but I first need to know how to play chess. So I want to learn about that and how to play, and maybe I'll join chess club in the future. But for now, I'm not in a club. So yeah. So don't feel bad about it. You have like 3, 4, or 5 years to be active. So don't feel like you're compelled to do so in your first year, but it's really advised to be active and have fun and go out to parties, because in this picture I didn't go out to a party, but I repped a party, and I thought it was good because seeing that I didn't continue with those 2 clubs, that was a way to get involved by repping the party that they wanted the freshers to rep. And as freshers, you're going to notice that you're going to be asked to attend a lot of events, so many events, because for your hall and for the universities, because it's really the first years that bring the hall. Like, if the first years are lame and don't want to attend anything, other people to come will not want to join the hall. And yeah, it's really in my university, it's really a competition. The halls compete against each other for the best hall. They have halls of halls, and my hall won hall of halls, and they're the youngest. So it's really a competition. So when outsiders, persons who have not yet joined the university, hear of these things, they're going to want to join that particular hall that is active and have some sort of prestige and has won something over the years. So participate. So yeah, back to the story of me repping for that party. It was full moon, and that day, oh my god, I can remember that day like it was yesterday. I was feeling myself so much because really and truly, the dress code was just a normal t-shirt that repped the party, that said full moon and the date of the party, and just your jeans and any footwear of your choice. But I, knowing me, I added my own accessories and I did a little extra, and I made sure my top matched my shoes. So I wore these really nice strappy high wedged clogs, these white ones, to go with my white t-shirt, and I wore like a light colored jeans, ripped jeans, and I was just feeling myself with my tiara. That time tiaras were trending, and my makeup and everything, and I was just feeling myself that day. And you know what also happened to me? I also got embarrassed that day. Like one of the few times I choose to participate and get involved, I embarrassed myself. So basically what happened was that we're going to the venue to rep the party. We're going to this party that keeps like every Thursday to rep full moon. So I'll put the name of the party for those persons who are planning to come to UE. So, and they host it every Thursday. It's just like a chill out spot. Yes, a place where you can go every Thursday. So we went there, but we walked through another hall to get there. So we walked through Chancellor, and Chancellor has this drainage system with bars, and I'll put an image of it just in case you don't pick up what I'm talking about. It has this long drainage systems with bars, and I totally and completely fear those type of drains, because I always think that when I'm walking on it, my foot's gonna be twisted or in it, or I'm gonna trip or something of the sort. So yeah, so that's what happened. I actually did trip, but what really happened, let me tell you in detail. It was pitch dark, so, and I kind of knew where the drain was, but I was wondering, how am I going to walk over it? And I wasn't used to it at the time. you know. But now I'm used to it. I just walk straight over on it and everything's okay. But I wasn't used to it and I feared the drain. Yes, I did fear the drain, that I was gonna trip or twist my ankle or something. So what I did, it was pitch dark and I was walking with these two girls beside me, and like I saddled up to approach the drain, to just walk over the drain. I saddled up. Yeah, so as I was saying, I saddled up to do it, and guess what I did? I jumped straight over it in my high wedged clogs and tripped on my face. I just literally just flew over it like a donkey. Like I jumped straight over it and fell on my face. It was so embarrassing. I got up so fast, so fast. I got up so fast. Although it was dark and no one could see me, I got up like this. I got up so fast, and I will never forget that moment because I was feeling myself so much that I got embarrassed. Yeah. So in all, participate, guys. That's the only way you're going to, you know, get to know people and network and have connections. Because really and truly, you may think you're just going for the degree, but you really can't reach far with the degree if you have no connections. You may notice in today's society that like there are people in very high places who aren't necessarily, you know, qualified to be in those places, but because they have the networks and they have the proper connections and links, they are in those places. So you can't just solely depend on the degree. You have to make certain connections and certain links and certain long-lasting friendships that will help you to, you know, matriculate in your career and to move upwards in your career. So yeah, so participate, and I cannot emphasize this anymore. Participate, guys, participate. So guys, number 3 is know how to cook. In my first year, my first meal was this meal called seasoned rice. That's what we call it in the Caribbean, where you have your rice, you cook your rice up with codfish and you season it, as the name suggests, with natural seasonings. And it didn't turn out the way that mommy usually does it, but it was edible. And it was, it was okay. It was edible. And I had it with soda. Not really healthy, but that was my first meal because I wasn't a chef. And, I didn't really want the food to spoil. So in my first year, I cooked next to nothing. Like, that was my first and probably, no, it wasn't my only meal because I cooked further down in the year. But know how to cook in your first year, because although I told you that there are a ton of places that you can go for food, your money will run out. And I guarantee you that your money will run out. You will end up bankrupt. Like, you will not have any money to pay for anything if you just depend on these food outlets, these food places. So know how to cook, guys. Know how to cook. Because sorry about that, guys. I had to change cameras, unfortunately, but I'm almost to the end of the video, so I hope it will work for that time. So as I was saying, I literally just chose management studies. I gave it no consideration, gave it no thought whatsoever. It was nothing that I was passionate about. It's just that I did a few business subjects in high school and I did well at them. I got some grade 1s in my O levels for some business subjects I did, and a 2 in my A level for MOB, which is management of business. Yeah. And I thought, okay, my parents are also doing business, so why not just go into a field that's already in my life, right? So that's what I did, and I selected management studies. But upon doing management studies now, we had to do this course called Introduction to Accounts. I did not do accounts among the subjects that I did in my O levels, nor did I do it in my A levels, right? I didn't do accounts. I did business subjects like principles of business in my O levels, office administration, and management of business in my A level. I didn't do accounts. I don't know why I didn't do it, but I didn't do it. Maybe because I'm dreadful in math and I heard it, entailed a lot of math. But it really is, that's not the case. It's just basic addition, subtraction. But I had no experience with it whatsoever. So it came very hard to me in my first year. And worse, the lecturers, they're supposed to be teaching the course like it's an introductory course, because it was. But instead, the lecturer that I got taught it like everyone had experience with accounts. Well, they probably thought that because if you're doing management studies or you're pursuing a degree in accounts, they'd expect you to have some knowledge of accounts. So I can understand why they probably taught it like we had pre-existing knowledge of accounts, but I unfortunately didn't, and I know a lot of other students didn't have that experience with accounts because it is an introductory course. Sorry for that beep, my phone battery is gonna die. So because it is an introductory course, but as I said, the lecturers at uni do not care about you to that extent. They're not like your teachers in high school. You can go to their office hours and they will help you as much as possible, but they're not going to be slowing down just for you, or giving you one-on-one attention all the time. It's really up to you, and it's your responsibility to go to the office hours. And I did not do so in my first year, and so I put most of the blame on myself. But also, yeah, I put most of the blame on myself. I cannot deny that. So guys, know what you want, because if you know what you want from now, it's easier for you in the future. You will not need to have the hassle of changing majors when you should be in your second year and moving on and going upwards. You won't have that hassle of changing majors and starting all over again. Although I said first year is an experience, and these things will happen, so do expect them to happen. But if you can better prepare, and I'm giving you this advice now so that you don't make the same mistakes as I did, yeah, so if you can avoid that and just know what you want from now, it would be great. It would be so great. But it doesn't always happen like that. So the picture really reminds me of that moment in my life where I was struggling with accounts, and the period in which I was really hoping for a transfer, because I could not stay in management studies. It was not for me, and I ended up failing accounts because I had no experience in it, and I would say I didn't get the proper teaching because I had no experience in high school. Plus, the lecturer did not teach like it was an introductory course, and I did not go to any of the tutorials because that was even worse. I didn't know debit from credit, and the tutor did not help. You'd expect that they would be there to help, but they're just as bad as the lecturers. They didn't do much to help. So yes, so that is it. And I think I asked for help too late, which was down the line when exams were approaching and everyone was getting prepared for their exams. So it was really hard for me to seek help then, yeah, because I had waited that long when everyone was saddling up to do their exams and everything and focusing on themselves. So yes, so that really is a line between me getting my transfer and me staying in management studies. That picture right there, filled with accounts notes and study guides and everything. So if you can know what you want before time, that's great, because you really don't want to wait. Also guys, think about if uni is even the right choice for you, because there are so many other avenues to success in today's society, and you really do not have to go that route to be successful. My battery is gonna die any minute now, so let me just wrap this up. You really do not have to go, you know, this route, the uni route, to be successful. Think about it, sleep on it, and decide if this is really what you want to do, because once you're in. You do not want to waste that money that you have spent for your first year. Even if you have to transfer, it's best if you transfer than to just give up. So think about it and know if you really want to do this before you go in, because uni is not cheap, guys. So yeah, think about it. And I hope this video was insightful. I hope it was helpful. I hope, you know, you learned a few things. I hope it really opened your mind to different, you know, thoughts. Maybe you had a certain thought about uni when before you watch this video, and it now gives you a different, you know, perspective. I hope it did so that you can do some thinking, some real thinking about what you want and how to prepare. So these things that happen to me, you know, don't necessarily happen to you. You can foresee them. So guys, I'm not saying that my first year was all bad. I did have really good times and I made a lot of friends, and all of these mishaps that took place in my first year, I do not regret any of them whatsoever. If I had a choice to not have them occur, or you know, have them occur, I would have it occur all over again, because I could not have grown if those experiences did not take place. I did make a lot of friends and I learned a lot of new things, and I'm not the same person that I was in first year, and I'm now in a new major that I love and I will continue with. And yeah, I owe it all to first year, really, because I made my mistakes and I learned from them. And the best thing about it is that, as I said earlier, the GPA for first year does not count. So you are so eligible to make your mistakes in first year. So do so now before it's too late. But do make wise choices also. And that was the purpose of this video. So I hope you enjoyed it, although it was a bit long, but you know, it was what I had to say, so I don't think I could have cut it any shorter, or else I would have left out some key things. So if you want me to make more videos, just drop some ideas down below what you want me to make videos of, and I'll consider. Thanks again for watching. Hope you learned something once again, and I hope you enjoyed it. So until next time, bye.